are related to the buildings nearby. So in these neighborhoods, most of the buildings are very old. So the flats in this neighborhood are relatively cheaper. So let's say if I want to buy a flat, say this one, top flat, okay, 47 years old. Yep. So, 47 years old, 385 square feet, so that's around 37 square meter. And the selling price is 4.5 million Hong Kong dollar. So that's around USD 600K. Okay, so in Hong Kong, let's say my average monthly income is Hong Kong dollar 19,800 per month. So in 1 year, I'm gonna earn 237,600. So 4.5 million. So I need to work 19 years in order to buy a flat. I'm assuming that I'm not eating at all. I'm not paying any tax. Okay, I'm not spending any money. All right. So maybe let's see if your country can challenge Hong Kong. Maybe French. Yeah. How much? Yeah, Paris. How much does it cost to buy 2 flat apartments?
I pay rent, so it's like more. But for around 40 square meters, 40, we pay 1,800.
1,000. Hello.
Hi.
Hey, okay, what's it? So let's say I want to rent this apartment, 2 bedrooms, 318 square feet. So that's around 30 square meter. The monthly rent is Hong Kong dollar 15,500. So that's around US 2,200. Okay, but so that means like my average income is only 19,800. I will spend more than 50% of my salary on the rent. That's fucking crazy, right? So I'm gonna find a roommate, or I look for something cheaper. Okay. So
Is this for the whole price?
this is the price. This is the total price. This is rent. This is rent. So
Every month.
per month. So this side is buy, this side is rent. Okay. So let's say
And how
Let's say I want
many people earn in a month in Hong Kong?
So the average monthly income in Hong Kong is 19,800. So that's divided by, so that's around USD 2,000 to 2,500 per month. Okay, so let's say I want to rent this place. It looks like this place is cheaper. So 4 floor, 130 square feet. So that's 12 square meters. Okay, and the monthly rent is Hong Kong dollar 4,500. So that's around USD 700 per month. It's cheap. The rent is cheap because it's a subdivided unit. So what is So what is a subdivided unit? So the landlord will take our original flat, say 500 square feet, and chop it into 5 units. So each unit is 100 square feet, and then rent it out. Okay. So the parking lot behind you is 140 square feet. So the subdivided unit is even smaller than a parking lot. This one. Yeah. So, but if you go to Central, you don't see any subdivided units because it's the middle class and the high class, like high class people live there. So, like compared to other countries in the last 14 years, Hong Kong is the hardest place to buy a flat. So, do you see the red pole, the red light over there?
Red, yeah, red.
Prostitution upstairs. Okay, so the light is on. So it's open in the morning, There's a cheaper price during the daytime. Okay.
Then common signal, like every
That's the signal. So you see that in Sham if you look up. Yeah. The white building and the pink building are called tenement building. So they are built before World War II. So the ground floor has shops and pools, and people live in the upper floors. So the white building has 3 floors, not counting the ground floor, and pink building has 8 floors, and there's 1 more block at the back. So, and do you see the roof, the thin metal on the rooftop of a light pink building over there?
what?
The light, you see the light pink building at the end of the street?
Yeah.
And look at the rooftop, you see a thin metal
Yeah.
in a block on a white block. You see that? So that's a rooftop slums. So actually people live on the rooftop slums.
Oh,
Okay.
that is being rented as well.
Yes, 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 yes. So you see that everywhere in Prince Edward, Sham, just look up, okay, when you're walking. So before World War II, people lived in a tenement building. But in October 1st, 1949, China reformed to a People's Republic of China, so under communism. So tough life under communism, so people from China come to Hong Kong. So in 1950s, the total Hong Kong population increased from 500,000 to 2.2 million in 5 years. So the tenement building is not enough to live. So people live on the sheds, in the hills, or rooftop slums. So, and property developer start building taller building. So these refugees from China, they brought new skill sets, capital, and labor to Hong Kong. So in 1950s, Hong Kong entered an industrial era. So Hong Kong has factories. So Hong Kong manufacture electronics, textiles, watches, and plastic. And Hong Kong doesn't have natural resources, so they use a very low tax rate and simple tax system to attract investors to set up a business in Hong Kong. So the salary tax in Hong Kong is 15%, 1.5, and profit tax is 16.5%, and no tax on capital gain. So, So this is a government budget from year 2018 to 2020. You can see it, yeah. 2018 to 2020. Just like other countries, Hong Kong government has revenue coming from profit tax, salary tax, and investment income. But Hong Kong also have public healthcare, free educations, and public facilities. So the profit tax, salary tax, and investment income is not enough to cover the Hong Kong government expenditure. So government has to look for money somewhere else, which is the property. So property revenue in Hong Kong is more than 40% of the total revenue. So I'm sure if you look at your country's government budget, the property revenue is not going to be that high. So the property revenue has 2 portions, big portions, land premium and stamp duty. So what is land premium? So property developer will pay a land premium for the right to develop the land, because Hong Kong property is not freehold, except St. John's Cathedral in Central. So most of the land in Hong Kong is owned by government and then leased out to people or companies.
Mostly like 99.9%.
Yes, yes. So the lease is 99 years. So 99 years. So if I buy a flat in Hong Kong, I'm not buying the land. I'm buying the whatever years left on the lease. Okay. Stamp duty is the transaction fee people pay to Hong Kong government when they buy or sell Hong Kong property. So first you look at the color. Okay. So the color of the building. So one color, one customer. So one cluster means there actually are entrance that you can go inside and walk all the way up to the rooftop. So some of them doesn't have a gate at the entrance, so feel free to go up all the way to the rooftop. So you can see rooftop slumps everywhere. There's one blue building. You see an aircon, right, and window. And then there's a big one on the purple building. So there's two air condition. So it means inside the rooftop slump, there's a subdivided unit. Okay. And if you look at in the middle blue building, you see one row have 4 air condition on the left and 2 at the right. So for the 4 air condition, most likely is a subdivided unit. You see, in the 4 air condition, 1 air condition is 1 subdivided unit. Okay, and you see a bunk in the white building. This one, you see the bunk bed, like in the coming from the top to the second floor. Bunk bed in brown. Most likely it's a cage home or subdivided unit.
Yeah, I don't know.
At the back, near the hill, you see those white buildings with orange top. That's public housing. Public housing, so it's cheap. It's cheaper than private apartments, so the poor people can apply for public housing instead of living in the subdivided units or cage home.
I think most people live there. They want to live there, not here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you have to apply,
Yeah.
line up, and do all that shit.
I think everyone does. That's smart.
Yeah.